Okay, where do your property taxes go? What is it used for? And you could put down roads, you can put down waste removal, you can put down schools, you can put down any pavement like redoing a sidewalk, anything like that. Public services, you can put that down. I'll let it go today. Just be very specific on a test. Construction, such as a new road or road replacement or renewal, a new, I think play structures, you know, when they redo the play structures at parks, I'm pretty sure it comes from property taxes, unless they do a fundraiser for it. So there we go. So just one thing and you get the mark. How's that? Jorge is purchasing a property worth 161,000. Calculate the land transfer tax. Okay. So basically, you know the drill, right? The first 30 grand you don't pay anything on. You're left with 131. You can subtract 60,000. That one is 0.05. Okay. If you're not sure, just divide the percentage from the chart by 100 and look what your calculator gives you. So it's 300. You get a mark for the 300. You subtract, you're left with 71,000. So I went through the first 30, then the 60. The next category is 60 as well. And that you pay 1% on. That's 600 bucks. So you get a mark for showing up with that. When you subtract, you're left with 11, and you realize you can no longer subtract. It would have been 50,000, but you can't. So you still grab the rate that would have been attributed to that 50,000, which is 1.5%. And that gives you 165. So you get a mark for that. Mark for everything. And so land transfer tax is the combination of all those, and that'll be 1,065. You get another mark for that. So obviously we're going to change this total to out of 4. I usually on a test I give half marks. That's why this would normally be a 2, but it's easier to just give full marks, so then it's nice and easy to add it up. Okay. G1 is thinking of buying a house. He estimates that his monthly payments would be $1,275. The annual heating cost, there's a heating cost, but it's annually, right? $1,800. Property taxes, approximately $375 per month, and the annual income is $75,000. Calculate the GDSR. Okay, so we need to do a few things here before we do anything. Is the heating, I need to turn that into a monthly amount. That's the key for GDSR. And that would be $150 a month. Everything else is monthly, like the mortgage payment and the property taxes, but the income is not. So income, we take 75,000, divide that by 12. That gives you, let me see here, 6,250. Okay. I will give you a mark for each one of those steps, because you've recognized, I need to divide it by 100. I need to get it into a monthly amount. And now I calculate my GDSR. So the GDSR calls for mortgage payment plus the heating plus the property taxes in no particular order, as long as those 3. Those are called the housing, that's housing costs, right? Divided by the income, which is 6,250. And I multiply that by 100. If you look at the yellow, at this one here, it does not multiply by 100, so you would just get a decimal. I am fine either or, like both answers are correct, stating it as a percentage or decimal. So if you show me this, I will give you 1 mark for having this set up because you know where things go, right? And then clean it up a little bit. I would add up the top here, which is 1800 divided by 6250 times 100. So if you divide this and multiply it by 100, you get 28.8%, and that is the GDSR that we're after. So B, will he be approved for the mortgage? Explain. The answer is yes. GDSR is below 32%, right? That's the key. You're mentioning that it's below 32%. Sorry, I missed that. You get a mark for getting the final answer here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 more mark for the explanation. You have to have the 32 showing up there. So question 4 is out of 5 total. Like if you want to have a running total there, it's 5 for A and B combined. Next, we have insurance. You're probably sick and tired of insurance by now, but that's okay. I want you to be good at it. So insurance, and it's apartment, which means I'm going to use the tenant insurance. There's $89,000 worth of stuff, standard insurance, $200 deductible, calculate the annual insurance before taxes. So that means we won't have to multiply by 1.07. I will walk you through this because I want you to have one last chance if you didn't get it up until this point. So insurance, I want standard. So it's tenant insurance, standard, and you max out, right? So you need to take that $359 and we need to pay extra for anything over, which is $4.50 for every $1,000 above. So I go insurance is $359 plus the $450 over 1,000. If you do this, you already get 2 marks. But make sure you put this in square brackets like that, right? So $359 for the first 75,000. You pay more for whatever you're over. So we go 89,000 minus 75. That's 14,000, right? That you're over. So I will put the 14,000 here. And I want $200 deductible, so I go times 1.10. But don't rush with the times 1.10. You do everything inside that bracket first. So watch this. 1 mark, 1 mark, and 1 mark. So 3 marks inside the square brackets, and another mark for you multiplying by 1.10. This is very important to me, the setup, because that shows me you understand. So watch this. 359 plus 450 divided by 1,000 times 14,000. That's 63 bucks. And you multiply that answer by 1.10. So I continue one more time. I add these two up, and that's 422 times 1.10. And so here's your final answer, 464.20. You get a mark for that as well, for correctly calculating it all the way to the end. So what are we at? 5? This one is worth 5 as well. So I'll put a big out of 5 on the side there. And from what I'm marking, that is you're pretty good with insurance. You're pretty good with non-transfer tax. You're not so good with GDSR and property tax. So we're gonna kind of have to fine tune that between today and tomorrow. So we have another insurance here. This is home insurance. Let me speed this up a little bit. Home insurance, I am over. I am in area 3 standard. Area 3 standard, you max out. So you go 726 and the 355. You got to go plus, okay? 355 per $1,000. 2 marks already. And how much are you over by? Just take 200,000 away from this. 580,750. Watch this. 1, 1, 1. We want a $500 deductible, so we don't need to multiply by 1.10, right? But we do need to multiply by 1.07 because of the taxes there. It's not 12%, it's 7% tax. So that will give you another mark there. And now I'm going to speed it up a little bit. 726 plus 2,061.66. How many of you thought you were wrong when you were doing that? Right? Quite a few. Maybe you were like, what? Yeah, cost you quite a bit more. So it's 2787.66 inside here times 1.07. And here's your grand total, 2982.80. You can do it if you practice, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 as well for this one. So this page is 5, 10, 15, 19, 20, 21. This page is worth 21 marks. Quite a few marks in this on this page alone. All right, backside. Oh, didn't I just talk about this today? How can you reduce your heating costs, right? Upgrade. You can go upgrade furnace to high efficiency, right? HE, high efficiency. Energy Star, you know that Energy Star? You can do that. Windows, insulation. You can upgrade thermostat. To smart. Upgrade to a smart thermostat. Weather stripping around the windows and doors, right? So that there are no drafts. Anyways, 2 marks if you have 1 in each box. Okay. Another insurance. I will just give you the answer to this one, guys. Here, I'm just gonna write it out like the last step there. So this is 1063 plus 519 over 1,000. You are over by 25 grand. So this is what it should look like, times 1.07. So you get 1, 1, 1, 1, and then your final answer is 1,276.24. That's another 1 marker, so 5 marks total for that one. Frontage, 50 feet. I told you to add that. So this is where I want you to pay a bit closer attention to, because this is still somewhat new. Watch this. If the question says that it gives you the portion assessment, right, for 185, that is the number you're going to multiply all of the mill rates that I give you by. That's not the value of the home, that is the 45% of the value of the home. Okay, so and I will, on the quiz you're going to see this, right? So for education, you take, I think I did mill rate first, right? With you, I change that from time to time, but you take the mill rate, divide it by 1,000, then multiply it by the portioned assessment, right? So that would be the answer for education. For municipal, I take that mill rate, I divide it by 1,000, and I also multiply it by 185,000, right? So that would give me that. Improvements, there's a 50-foot frontage, and for concrete paving, if you go look it up, under your pink, right? The pink chart at the back. I have it as 3932. I'm just going to confirm. Concrete paving 3932. Some of you are multiplying like 3-4 numbers together. Don't do that, right? So let's go backwards here. This is 1966 for the improvements. When you divide this and multiply, you get 3,303.36. And for this one, you get 2933.55. So I'll give you 1 mark for each one of these. 1 mark for education, municipal, and improvements. And there are no, is there a credit on yours? Oh yeah, it's right here, sorry. I was looking at my old one, didn't have credit. So total would be 2933.55 plus 3303.36 plus 1966 minus 450. And that is 7,752.91 cents. I would have a hard time with that bill. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 marks. So 4 and 5 is 9 and 2 is 11. Okay, so we're gonna, this page is worth 11 in total. We have 4 marks for property tax. And add it up. So 11 and what was the front page? 21? Yeah, so 32 total. 32, yeah. And get your booklets out, okay?